Welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are super excited to kick off this month's episode.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit about wedding trends and traditions.
Going way back.
Going way back to like Greeks and Romans stuff.
Yes.
And got a couple notes here. We're just going to kind of dive into things, how weddings have evolved over the centuries, and now today with TikTok trends.
Exactly. I know weddings have changed a lot over the years,
and
there's
centuries.
some things that have stayed, and some things that have definitely not stayed.
And definitely a few things like more recently that have kind of gone by the wayside.
That and some stuff I feel like has come back even too. From like really old traditions.
Absolutely.
And stuff. So I'm excited to dive into this.
That's right. Well, first off, I'm Matthew.
I'm Elizabeth.
And we are the Davy Duo. My business is Completely Celebrated.
And I am Completely Captured.
And I'm a DJ, you're a photographer, and we're just going to kind of dive into some of these amazing things. Elizabeth, you want to kick us off?
Yes. All right, let's see.
Yeah.
Ceremony stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. Let's start with the rings.
Oh, yeah.
So rings are a circle with no beginning or end, symbolizing eternity. The ancient Egyptians and Romans exchanged rings made of braided hemp or iron worn on the fourth finger to the left hand because they believed a vein there led straight to the heart. That's really cute.
I think that's true, that.
Does it?
I don't know. Let's look.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to actually look, but
I
feel
guess.
like it could. Yeah. I mean, your heart's on your left, so that would maybe make sense.
That would make sense.
And, that's one tradition that has stuck. Everyone does the rings exchange.
Yeah, I don't think that's going anywhere.
I don't think that's ever going to go anywhere.
Everywhere. All across the globe.
Rings are always, I think the only thing that is actually consistent in weddings is, the rings.
Yeah, and the next thing, which,
is the vows.
The vows, which
yes.
started originally as a legal contract.
And now it's turned into people have the opportunity to express their emotions and make personal promises. But I still see a lot of traditional wedding vows on weddings.
Right,
nowadays,
religious undertones, but now it's definitely become more personalized and, more than just a legal contract. And a romantic gesture.
Yeah. I've even had couples do private personal vows because they don't necessarily want to say it in front of everyone, and then they do traditional vows in front of people, and so there's a lot of different ways you can do it nowadays.
Yes.
But everyone always still exchanges vows, so those both have stuck.
And different cultures have different ways of doing it. We're not going to dive completely into that.
That's another day.
We'll save that for another day. Yeah.
All right. Bouquet and garter toss.
Oh my goodness.
Those just almost don't exist anymore.
They do not, but they definitely have some interesting storylines.
So I guess with the bouquet toss, back in the day, guests used to rip pieces of the bride's dress for good luck. So then they switched it to a bouquet toss to become a polite way of redirecting the chaos, apparently. I mean, I don't think a lot of brides nowadays would want their dress ripped, so I think that's a good choice. But I don't see the bouquet toss as much anymore. No, I'd say I see it more than the garter toss. I feel like the garter toss is almost non-existent now.
Oh, yeah.
But the bouquet toss, every once in a while I see it. But one cool thing I've been seeing lately is where the bride dedicates her bouquet to her mom.
Yes,
and that's, I think, a really cool new trend that I've been seeing.
I do like some of the old garter toss things. I feel like as it was kind of fading out, I started seeing a lot of brides hiding a smeared off ice in their garter.
Yes, I've seen that on
and
TikTok.
icing the groom.
Yes, I think that's hilarious.
Oh, I got some photos from I don't know, 8 to 10 years ago where a groom is just laid out on his back, totally shocked, and the bride's stretched out hand in the chair with the smeared off ice in her hand. It's just
so good.
And then like people are like around him pointing at
Let's go
him.
grab a glass of water. And why don't you go wash your hands?
Thank you,
Everyone, go wash your hands. Yeah, I've seen the ice one before. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But it came from, in medieval Europe, it was proof of consummation.
Yeah, romantic, right?
So great. Thankfully today is just a cheeky tradition.
Which, again, we don't really see much.
And you don't see it much, but when it is done, and it's done in a funny way, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, when the groom gets, like, really into it, I think that makes it, like, exciting.
Well, like that wedding where that I was describing, the groom had me play Pony.
Yeah,
by
exactly.
Genuine,
yes.
and he was like doing this whole
The
dance, slowly
dance,
removing his jacket, and then the bride emailed me or texted me, I can't remember, like that week, and was like, "Hey, can you switch it to Ice Ice Baby?"
After.
And like right as he's about, so sure enough, he does the whole thing, and then he slides in on his knees, and then that's when she hands him the Spirit on Ice.
That's hilarious. I love that. Okay, toasts and speeches.
Oh,
and, and why does the father speak first? Which I don't see that as like a thing nowadays where the dad like speaks first, but
I see it a lot.
I see it. I'd say like 50% of the time I see it where like the dad actually says something.
Yeah, and it
first.
definitely is rooted in kind of patriarchy.
Yes, exactly. Because you know, it was because he was giving her away, and it's like a symbolic handoff rooted in. What is that word? Property and patriarchy. All right.
As I just said.
But now, you know, you see the thank you speech from the dad a lot, but you also see speeches from the couple, like their parents, maid of honor, best man. You know, you see a lot of different people speaking, and normally they're pretty storytelling about, you know, how they knew them and how they met. And
growing up with them.
And, you know, I love speeches.
Though I feel like we see a lot more at like the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah, I'd say most of the time, like if you aren't sure like how many speeches you should have
two.
Two, and then the couple can speak. So like 3 total, including yourselves, and then you know anyone else that wants to speak, do it during the rehearsal dinner because that's like the best time for you to be able to really be present with the speeches and.
Right. And
you know,
I was listening to a DJ podcast where a grandfather talked apparently for like 40 minutes, and like it's like, what do? You can't cut that person off. It's like, you know, do you play some like Oscars walk-off music? It's like, how do I? Because like, you know, it can't be the DJ.
No.
It has to be like.
Which, you know, I always tell my couples like during their details meetings, I'm like, tell anyone who's doing a speech 2 minutes max. 2 minutes max. That's it.
Yeah.
Like no more.
For all of them.
For all of them.
Yeah,
like
not just per person.
No. 2 minutes per person.
Really?
Max. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like 2 minutes isn't that bad.
I'd say 30 seconds.
Thank you. I love you. Goodbye. No, I think like 2 minutes max per person is fine. It's only if you're doing
2 people.
Yeah, only if you're doing a few. If they have like 6 people, I've definitely had things where there's a lot of speeches and and it's you know it's sweet and I love it, but most of the time you know guests are excited to like party with you and they want to like get the party started
and it becomes if it's too drawn out it's just like
people get antsy.
ADD kicks in.
Yeah, exactly. But you know
and
again,
you start hearing a lot of like plates and glasses
people start going to the
clinking
bar
and people
talking,
get up people go to the bathroom. It's just if it's too drawn out the focus of your guests definitely goes away. All right.
And you know you want to party too and like have a good time with your
and
guests
maybe cut your cake.
Exactly. Which is the next topic.
Yeah.
Cake cutting.
Ancient Rome. Wheat cakes were broken over the bride's head to symbolize fertility. Later in Victorian England, multi-tier cakes became a sign of wealth. So tall, they required a sword to cut it. Do you like it? Like the way I read?
It's like, okay, it's aggressive.
Yeah.
You're like a narrator. You know,
I mean,
this is why you're a DJ.
This is
I am not. Nowadays, cake cutting is more than symbolic. It's a photo moment, a shared bite, and sometimes frosting in the face.
I don't advise that.
I don't agree ever with the cake in the face, like fully, but
Yeah.
like the little boop, boop, I think it's fun.
I mean,
Like the boop.
I remember a few years ago, I remember a groom that did it a little too hard. To the point where the bride fell on the ground. It was Obi.
Obi. Sorry.
And
It's
like
okay.
ran away crying.
Oh my god! I mean,
Yeah.
you know how long that makeup took to put on? Like, come on, don't ruin the face. Don't
Yeah,
ruin the
it
makeup.
It was
You're gonna
a
feel
little
gross
too
and
much.
sticky
And
the
the
rest of
groom
the day.
laughed. It definitely was a very cringy moment.
That's sad. That's really sad. But
So don't do that.
unless you like clear it with each other first and
Yeah.
you're purposely planning it, like, hey, we
Yeah.
want to do this for the pictures.
Or
like,
just keep it classy and get some forks.
yeah, like, and you can still make it fun. You just
Yeah,
don't
absolutely.
have to like.
Oh no,
Okay, let's see.
not classy.
First dance.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Once reserved for royalty in high society, the first dance was the official opening of the ball, which is kind of cool if you think about it.
Yeah, that's fun. I love that.
Yeah, the bow ball.
And I think first dance is almost done at every wedding I've ever worked. Like it's something that has stuck.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think
Um,
that's going away.
Yeah,
Ever.
I love that.
And, I've even had, obviously there's parent dances too that typically happen. And while those songs sometimes are cut shorter, almost always the first dance is the full length of the song.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think maybe of the 200 some weddings I've done, maybe 2 times they were cut short.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
just depends what the couple wants.
Yeah, I mean, now you can kind of see, tear-jerking moments. Or
Yeah, I always get a little
full-on
emotional.
choreographed numbers.
I love the
choreographers.
choreographed stuff. It's
Oh my
so
God.
fun, especially when they hire a videographer. Like that's like the best moments. Like it's such a cool thing to
Oh,
like
yeah.
watch the choreographed dances.
Unforgettable
Um,
moments.
Yes,
For
exactly.
sure.
And I love it when like the parent dances are choreographed.
Oh,
Those
like
are
the
so
bride
good.
and the father and daughter,
I
yeah.
love it. It's
It's
so
so
fun.
cute.
All right.
Oh,
let's
and
see.
then the new stuff.
New trends. So that was
Yeah.
kind of like all of the older traditional things
Yeah.
that have stuck or hasn't. But now we're gonna dive into some of the newer things that have been happening.
I think this
so,
is just the one.
Oh, is it? Just kidding. So right now, let's see some new stuff. So The Last Dance is becoming very popular. Where
Yeah, I
all
think the
the
first time I saw this
guests
was
leave.
2016. And I loved it. It was an intimate last dance, and it was at this ballroom in Richmond, Virginia, and they had all their guests go out, and they just had just the two of them. Me, obviously, had to, they wanted a specific song, and then the photographer.
Yeah. It's
Um,
really sweet because it just gives them like one last quiet moment
Yeah.
to like take in the evening and
Yeah.
just the two of
Because
them.
it goes by so fast.
It does. And like they're rarely ever alone. Like couples are
Oh,
almost
absolutely
never alone on a wedding day. So like it gives them like that last moment, even though like we're there as vendors, but like nobody's bothering them, talking to them. Like everyone is out getting ready for the grand exit and they get like just that last private moment where they can just be together and be like, we did it! You know?
No phones, no
No.
pressure,
Yeah, exactly.
and just having a once in a lifetime moment.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, the evolution.
of wedding style through the decades.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, let's see.
Weddings have always reflected the culture of their time. So let's take a quick look.
All right.
Going back to the
1920s,
1920s.
the Gatsby era.
Oh, yeah.
I would have loved to live during that era.
Beaded gowns and champagne towers, which we've seen kind of a
Champagne
resurgence.
towers are coming back. They've been back though. I think the
Yeah,
past
for
couple years.
past few years, but I
Um,
mean, I feel like that's kind of a funny
In fact, I just saw a
because it is the 20s again.
Yeah, exactly. I just saw an Instagram reel like yesterday where it was a champagne tower fail. Like the
Yeah.
groom was pouring the champagne and all of the glasses just
Oh
fell,
no!
and I was like,
Oh no!
and the bride just kept pouring and she was just
Yeah.
smiling like, it's okay, like we're just gonna make it work, and
Make
like
sure you
glasses
hire
everywhere.
professionals that will
Well,
properly stack
no,
that
I
champagne
mean,
tower.
Things happen, and I'm sure it was just it's just an accident,
Of course.
or maybe it was the type of champagne glasses they
Maybe
had.
maybe he poured it a little too fast.
Yeah,
a little too hard.
It was really funny.
Got
though.
in there.
It was funny because like they were both still like, just gonna keep going. It's fine. They're all broken.
Yeah, just
But I
sprinkle it in there.
love the champagne tower pictures. Like those are some
absolutely.
of my favorite. 1940s.
Oh, wartime.
Quick ceremonies, borrowed dresses, and precious kisses goodbye.
Like your
Aw.
grandparents.
I know, like my grandparents.
They got married at a courthouse in San Francisco, right?
Reno.
Reno.
They met. My grandpa was in the Navy, and he basically was like, "Meet me in San Francisco, and we're gonna take a train to Reno and go elope." And the church that they got married at is still there. It's like right on the river, and just the two of them, and it was just
And
like
your parents
so,
eloped.
Yep, my parents eloped.
And we eloped.
and
So
we
three
eloped.
three generations of elopements here.
Yep. All in Nevada.
All in Nevada! Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And then
Oh,
that's
man.
good.
That's good.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Words are hard.
Words are hard.
1950s.
Ooh.
Picture perfect. What is that?
Tea-length gowns.
Tiered cakes, ballroom elegance. Oh yeah. So
We're
like,
definitely seeing some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that like? I mean, obviously Bridgerton vibes is not that era, but like that's what I'm picturing.
Yeah, I mean that's
Like
like
ballroom.
Bridgerton is like
That's a long time ago.
the 1880s.
But that's why I said it's not this
Victorian
era.
England.
But
yeah.
like tiered cakes, big ballroom elegance, like
Right.
I'm picturing that.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's kind of a cycle in history. Like today, we're seeing a lot of 90s trends.
Hmm.
Like kids walking around with Nirvana T-shirts.
Gen Z loves the 90s.
Oh yeah. Like I mean, I was big on the 80s.
Right, I love seeing like all of us millennials are like, we did it first. Like, how dare you?
Yeah.
All right, 1970s, boho and barefoot, meadow weddings, flower crowns, and acoustic vows.
Very hippie stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a fun time too.
Yeah.
I would love that. Like getting married in like a field barefoot, like.
That's how. I mean, I see people do that now.
I know. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's I like that a lot.
The 1980s. I just said that I love the 80s.
Puffy
But I
sleeves.
do not love their styles.
Puffy sleeves, massive cakes, and formal receptions.
Yeah.
All right.
So I feel like that's when formal receptions really kind of took hold.
Yeah, I agree. And then we go. Yeah, some of those 80s wedding styles are interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's
The
for
puffy
sure.
sleeves.
Yep, and like the big hair and.
Yeah, I mean, you see, pictures of like our parents' age folks getting married in the 80s, and it's like, what?
Yeah, exactly. 90s, minimalist gowns, hotel ballrooms, disposable cameras.
Oh man,
Which disposable cameras have come back.
as they have, but like people will put them
Everywhere.
on like each table.
Yes, tables like where the guests can use it, or they give them to the bridal party to use all night, or even photographers have started doing disposable cameras.
Yeah, don't get in front of the photographers.
No. Which was really cool is wedding on Saturday, Rebecca's wedding. Their videographer had camcorders for the bridal parties.
Shut up.
Yes, and
That's
they
so
had
cool.
the camcorders, and the bridal party was like videotaping all day.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, and they like loved it. One of the groomsmen, he took his job so seriously. He was like taking video of everything. Like it was
That's
amazing.
hilarious.
And I was like, I need to see that footage. So it's kind of goes hand in hand with like the disposable cameras.
Right.
So that stuff I feel like is coming back.
camcorders.
Camcorders.
VHS.
Yeah. I was like, that is the best idea. It's
Yeah.
so good. All right. The 2000s.
Pinterest parties.
Oh man,
Oh, my
Pinterest
goodness.
is the best.
That's when Pinterest started in the 2000s.
Pinterest
Can you
boards,
believe that?
wedding Pinterest
20
boards
years.
are dangerous.
Oh, man.
They are.
Well, they have a lot of, what is it called? Wedding dysmorphia.
Yeah, that's
where-
very true.
Folks see all these, luxury Pinterest weddings,
And
they're
are
like,
like, oh, I
I
can
can
do
do
that.
that, and
Those
they're
are like
hundreds of thousands of dollars. We did not plan that, but we are clearly in sync.
But yeah, Pinterest parties. So DIY decor was big, which I feel like still stuck. Like people do still do a lot of DIY.
Yeah.
Themed weddings and grand entrances. That's interesting. So they didn't do grand entrances before.
They probably did something. I mean,
Maybe they just
go back to
became
those.
more popular.
Go back to those royal weddings.
Right. Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the reception.
Oh my goodness.
Hear ye, hear ye.
This is
Yeah.
my husband.
I will never, unless asked,
Do that.
do that.
You should just start doing that. That'd be great. All right,
Yeah.
and then today, custom playlist, drone footage, cultural blends, luxury vibes.
Definitely, drones have become very popular.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think drone. I mean, I'm probably dumb, but I don't know when drones came to existence as far as like with
Like mass usage.
like where people actually used it for photo, video.
Definitely in the last
coverage.
decade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like those are newer, and I mean, I think drone footage is definitely
They've become really popular since the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, we use drone for video, but I would like to start using drone for photo, too.
Ooh, interesting.
I've seen a lot of really cool stuff with, like, flying the drone during, if it's an outdoor reception, like,
Right.
you, like, with the tables and the dance floor and, like, different things. Like, even, like, for, like, details of the reception
Or an outdoor
space. Like,
ceremony.
or an outdoor ceremony. I've seen that a lot. And, of course, like, of the couple and different things. But, like, I love the drone stuff.
I've seen drones flown indoors.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine
I-
the venue would.
I believe you. I just I
have
feel
to-
like
I mean, you definitely have to have a pilot license and like
Yeah.
all the permits.
which a
and
lot of
things for
venues
that.
require that stuff nowadays
Right.
too.
Gotta get your FAA license.
Yeah, exactly. Which I didn't have that. But you know, we're seeing a lot more cultural blends.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot of
multicultural
multicultural weddings.
or just like different. You know, people who come from different backgrounds and really just like embracing their cultures and like
Yeah.
incorporating it into their weddings.
Absolutely.
A lot. And luxury vibes, which I feel like kind of goes hand in hand with like timeless. The
Oh, yeah.
timeless is coming back again.
Right.
And you know,
Like the champagne towers.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
Closing. I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but it's okay.
Full disclosure, we, have this whole script right here, which we've been totally like kind of going off script.
Just notes.
Just some notes. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I think we can just go straight into the ending. I think we've got all of it covered.
Do we? What was your favorite part?
I think it's really cool to hear like what started back in the day and
Like the
why,
Egyptians, the Greeks,
Yeah.
and the Romans.
and like where certain traditions have evolved from, and then
Yeah.
like what people are doing with that same tradition now.
And like what's happened in the past century.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I think weddings are always going to evolve and change, and new trends and new things are gonna pop up always, over the years.
And I think also, there's got to be a nod to pop culture.
Mhm.
And Bridgerton, for example, has become a very popular Netflix series, and we've seen a
so
lot
many
of
Bridgerton
things
type weddings and
come from that show.
Bridgerton, like the music, like
The-
the
the-
modern
The
violin.
Vitamin String Quartet I
Yeah.
use often at ceremonies.
Yeah, a lot of that.
Which
is
is
fun.
basically pop covers played by string instruments.
Yeah.
And love that.
Love it.
Love it a lot, and especially
And
if I
it's
get
fun
to team
during,
up
like-
with a violinist.
Yes, like
Uh,
live.
Yeah.
It's cool to hear that stuff during like cocktail hour too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that it's like sometimes it's was popular 50 years ago and now it's coming back, or it was
Like
popular
100 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's the Roaring Twenties again, right?
Exactly.
Like we just came out of a pandemic just like 100 years ago.
Exactly.
And
There's a lot of really I love seeing the wedding trends. Like I love seeing on, you know, when I go on Instagram, TikTok, like new ideas and new things that people are doing, and I'm like, that is such a good idea. Because now I feel like people, I think, are realizing they have a lot of freedom as far as like what
Right.
they can do. Because I think over the years, it's like, no, you have to do it this way, and it's like people are, the generation now is like, I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do, and I can do it any way I want.
Yeah.
Which I think is so cool, you know. Like I just saw today on Instagram, it was so cool. It was the wedding party was like all in their wedding party green, you know, color, but then they had the blue crew, the something blue crew, which was all of the wedding party's spouses, and they had all of them in blue, and they were like, they walked down the aisle, but they didn't like stand up there, and they were in some pictures, and they were like, they incorporated the plus ones like into the wedding,
I love
and
that.
they like made them blue, and like that's like something blue, and I thought that was just like so cool,
That is very cool.
right? I was like,
I've
that's such a
also
good idea.
loved that, like, this is probably not going to be here for a while, but very recently we've seen the Remember the Titans, like,
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the bride
The
going up to
voiceover
you will be perfect in
To the-
every aspect of the game.
to the groomsmen.
To the groomsmen.
Yeah.
You drop a pass, you run a mile.
So
You
good.
fumble the football, you run a mile.
Yep. And I guess that also kind of goes into like TikTok trends. Like a lot of people are doing TikTok videos like during their wedding
Right.
and stuff, like doing things like.
Because it's clear, like, that's actually during the wedding. It's
Yeah.
not like
It's not like
something
a random day.
rehearsed, previously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Very cool.
anyways.
Well, guys,
yay!
thank you so much for checking it. This was a fun one.
It was. I liked this one.
This was really fun. Once again, I am Matthew,
I'm Elizabeth.
and we are the Davy Duo. If you have any of these traditions or trends that you would like for us to talk more about, or anything that's your favorite, drop it in the comments.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and share our YouTube, our Instagram, which you can find us at the Davy Duo, both on Instagram and YouTube,
Yep.
and TikTok.
Yep.
And then where can they find you?
I am at the tattooed photographer, and then my photography page is at Completely Captured.
Yep, and I am the Bowtie DJ, and you can find my business at Completely Celebrated.
Cool.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.